If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and click that notification bell icon. Your engagement really does go a long way in helping out the channel. And to be honest, guys, I've had a very busy day today. Just focusing on the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, and I had to take a nap before I recorded this video. But we're back here for Monday's episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. So if you're new here, like I said, do those things. It really does help to support the channel. So in today's episode, we'll be talking about a man whose social media brand actually caused some harm to NIO, and he was sued for about $11,000. We'll also talk about why battery swap is very good, referencing an article from CNEV Post, and we'll talk about NIO making some major progress on their Firefly brand. Lastly, we'll finish things off with the biggest players in the battery swapping space. I've been saying on the channel for a long time, NIO is the biggest and the best player in the battery swapping space that I know of to date. So this is going to be a super interesting video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first and foremost, Mr. Zhu, who owns a big social media brand in China, has been saying some harmful things to NIO, against NIO, making false claims on their brand. And NIO in the past, when these type of things have gone on, they haven't really been very combative or protective of their reputation. However, in this situation particularly, they decided to sue this person, which I think is rightfully so. NIO's a growing brand, and they can't have the perception floating around that they're doing these negative things, like this person was saying, like their vehicles caused a crash, which was not true. So anyways, they went ahead to sue this person for around over 11,000 US dollars is the conversion. And we actually went and we talked to a legal expert about this, and here's what Mr. Johnson, our legal expert, had to say about this particular scenario. He said, Mr. Zhu formally signed a letter of apology to NIO acknowledging his illegal infringements. This marks a significant victory for NIO in defending its reputation against online defamation. And so with that being said, this story is pretty straightforward. You know, you just can't be spewing false information. That's like me, for example. Like, I don't get on here and say things that are not true. For example, I feel like when you're doing content creation, you have to kind of be pretty responsible with your word, because it actually affects a lot of other people's business, a lot of other people's lives. And this person was not doing that, and he actually owned up to the fact that he wasn't doing it. He paid the damages, and hopefully NIO has made an example out of this man, and hopefully people are going to be more wise with what they put out there on the internet. So let's move on to our next topic, which is the advantages of NIO's battery swapping system. So if you have been following NIO even from afar, you know that NIO's been making waves in the electric vehicle industry, not just with its cars, but also with its battery swapping technology. Many have been doubtful of it. Many have said why, even ARK Invest has said, why would someone want to do battery swapping? Why wouldn't they just charge their cars? Well, CNEV Post actually posted an article where they dove into the key reasons why somebody would want to do battery swapping. And so we're going to go over those things, and I'm also going to give my opinion. This isn't just like those other channels that just copy and paste things and tell you stuff that you can find on your own. This is a channel where we're going to be reflective of like what's out there as well. So let's get into that part. Number one here is fast and convenient charging. NIO users can quickly get back on the road, or quickly get their battery percentage back up to full in about 3 minutes with these new battery swapping stations that NIO has. And that's just as fast or faster than a lot of the chargers out there today. You know, you go to a Tesla supercharger, it's going to take you about 15 minutes to get to 80 or 90% full. And NIO has those as well, but battery swapping is another option, and it's a big moat around the business. My opinion here is that NIO's battery swapping infrastructure and battery swapping moat that they're creating around the business is definitely a capability that sets it apart from other EV manufacturers. It allows users to spend more time driving and less time charging. They're just providing users with the ability to replenish faster than traditional EV drivers. Number 2 is pretty new. We talked about this last week, but NIO has flexible battery upgrades. So let's say that you have a standard range battery with NIO and you wanted to go on a super long road trip where you know that your car is probably going to need more energy. You're going to need a long range battery. Well, with NIO, you can absolutely now do this after their announcement at NIO Power Day 2023. My opinion here is that this flexible battery upgrade gives EV users a forward-thinking approach to EV ownership. Let's say someone doesn't want to pay for the longer range version. They just want to pay for the standard range version. And when it's time to make those longer trips, then they can pay a little bit of a fee to get the longer range battery for a period of time to really get more efficient with their spending. Definitely a good thing here. Number 3 is there's a lower vehicle purchase threshold. That's right, there's battery as a service, which NIO is really big on. Battery as a service is a separation of the body of the vehicle and the battery. So NIO users can actually buy the vehicle and rent the battery, and that's going to make the overall vehicle purchase a lot cheaper, opening it up to a wider market of consumers. NIO's unique pricing model makes it more accessible to budget-conscious consumers. It addresses affordability concerns and is definitely supercharging the way to a greener future. Number 4 here is enhanced safety and battery life. Yes, one of the biggest considerations of buying an electric vehicle is battery degradation over time. I was looking around right now just to see if I could find one of my iPhones. I have so many different iPhones, and eventually, you guys know, as you keep an iPhone over the years, eventually you want to replace it, maybe not even for technology purposes, but just to replace it because the battery degrades over time. That's what happens with lithium-ion batteries. And so with NIO, what they're doing is allowing for that separation, meaning that users no longer have to worry about battery degradation. Let's say your battery goes bad, you can replace it. In a lot of cases, like I said, with battery as a service, a lot of people don't even own the battery, they only own the car. A lot of EV makers, you're kind of pretty much stuck with the battery that you purchased the car with, and also battery technology is getting better and better over time, and that's just not a good thing for your battery to become antiquated when there's a lot better technology out there on the market. NIO's battery swapping stations also perform health checks on the batteries, and this ensures timely detection of potential hazards. Topic number 3 now is that NIO's sub-brand Firefly has been making significant progress. So Firefly is NIO's foray into the more affordable part of the European electric vehicle market. We're looking forward to Firefly in Europe, and we're looking forward to Alps in China. There has been a lot of worry around the Firefly brand, as its first model has seen some design freezing, leading to people thinking that the Firefly concept and brand might get scrapped altogether. Well, there's some good news here. There's a ray of light. Its first model is expected to enter the mold development stage, which is really good for NIO and its employees. So the Firefly's R&D development team is located in China, and so NIO, as we know, earlier this year, pretty much for most of this year, they've had some pretty weak deliveries, and so they've been forced to get kind of more cautious with their cash spending, watching what's going in and watching what's coming out. And so that's probably what led to a lot of fear of the Firefly brand getting canceled here. However, with this mold being created, It's a good sign. It's positivity for the brand. NIO's still making strides over there, and it doesn't look like they're actually going to cancel this project. It's interesting to see how NIO's navigating these challenges and progressing with the Firefly project, and we've discussed it before on the channel, but we'll continue to keep you posted as there's more developments and updates that come to light. Last topic here is China's battery swapping industry. And so if you've been watching my channel since day one, I've pretty much said that NIO is the best at what they do when it comes to battery swapping. However, others seem to be following NIO's lead. Several key players have been trying to get in on the trend and be a part of this battery swapping wave. Apart from NIO, Alton and Bolton are key players in the battery swapping market, specifically the taxi cab market. NIO has 68% market share of the total battery swapping stations in China. So as I said, they're the leader. Not only that, they have so many different patents for their battery swapping stations, which makes it hard to be as good as them. So if you doubt battery swapping in China, the battery swap market in China is definitely gaining some traction here. The Chinese government has chosen battery swapping as a preferred method of refueling. And now I've said this a couple times on the channel specifically like that, but I want to clarify before someone gets in the comments and says it's not the preferred method. I said a preferred method, meaning that it's something that is being realized by the Chinese electric vehicle market. Not saying that it's something that's preferred over supercharging by the masses or the majority, just saying that it is something that's there. Anyways, that's all the time that we have for today. I hope you found this episode quite valuable. We'll catch you in the next episode of Courtside Financial. Join the free Courtside Financial Discord. You have nothing to lose, only information to gain. I learned a lot just from being in that Discord from a lot of people who are invested in NIO and following the Chinese market and following other companies as well. So anyways, like I said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you.